Today we are making a loaf FODMAP stuffing that is also gluten-free. To start, we need to cut a loaf of gluten-free bread up into crouton-sized pieces. I'm using a loaf of pre-made bread from Char. This specific one is their Pan Blanco. If you can't find gluten-free bread near you, this brand is on Amazon and they have a pretty good variety of gluten-free bread to choose from. After cutting up the bread into small bite-sized pieces, add it to a mixing bowl and coat lightly with garlic olive oil. This loaf of bread makes around 2.5 to 3 cups of bread once it's all chopped up. I'm going to use my air fryer to toast these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm doing 2 batches so they can be in a single layer, and after 6 minutes, I will check them every couple minutes until they look like croutons. They don't need very long, so it is easy to burn them if you're not keeping an eye on them. If you don't have an air fryer, you can also toast them in the oven, but it is going to take longer. While the bread is toasting, I'm going to add a few tablespoons of homemade ghee that I infused with garlic, rosemary, and thyme to my cast iron skillet and let it heat up while I chop up the green top of the leek because the green leaves are low FODMAP, while the bulb of the leek is not. And I'm not using very much celery because celery is high in mannitol, so to keep it low FODMAP, we need to limit the amount of celery in each serving. Once the leek leaves and celery are chopped up, I'm going to add them to the ghee and cook them until they are soft. While I'm waiting for them to cook, I'm going to go ahead and start chopping up some fresh herbs. I'm using rosemary, thyme, parsley, and sage, and have about a handful total of all of them. Sage is what's going to give it that Thanksgiving taste, so this is one herb that you want to seek out if you don't already have it on hand. My first batch of bread is nice and toasty, so while I'm waiting on the second batch, I'm going to use the same mixing bowl I coated the bread in with oil earlier and crack a couple eggs. Using a fork, I'm going to beat the eggs to break the yolk. Now all of the bread is done getting toasty, so I'm going to add it to the mixing bowl with the eggs, add the chopped herbs, and top it all together to coat the bread with the eggs. The leeks and celery are softened, so I'll also add them to the bowl, along with salt and pepper, and toss it all again to coat everything. I have 1 cup of chicken stock, and I'm going to add it slowly, mixing the bread mixture between pours of the broth so the bread can absorb it. Once all of the broth is added, I'm pouring the mixture back into the cast iron skillet. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can use a greased baking dish as well. Cover with foil and bake covered for about 20 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. After 20 minutes, remove the foil and bake uncovered for 5 to 10 minutes until the top gets nice and toasty. I hope these Thanksgiving recipes this month have helped everyone to prepare for their holiday. Comment if you have any requests for Christmas-themed dishes next month. See y'all next time!